I feel that I want to talk about the concept of spirituality and what it means for me in my point of view, and how I think that the term spirituality is being looked at in the wrong way. It's being looked at as a woo-woo thing. Most people still, when they hear spirituality, they dismiss it right away. It's too big of a woo-woo concept for them. So I want to try and capture how I feel about this and what it means for me. I think if you would ask most people, they will say that there is more between heaven and earth. There's more to this world, this universe, than we can see, than we can perceive with our five senses. Because we only have five senses to perceive this whole world, to perceive the reality that we're living in. Now there's a huge chance, for me that chance is 100%, that there's more than we can perceive. There's more layers of energies, there's more dimensions, there's more things that we cannot perceive with our senses. The material world, the world that we can sense, we have studied, atoms, laws of physics, nature, densities, whatever. So whatever we can perceive, we've studied, and we've kind of found answers to some degree. But whatever we cannot perceive with our senses, we cannot study, we cannot understand. For me, spirituality is trying to understand those aspects of reality, of the universe, of whatever, that we cannot perceive, that we cannot fully understand. Where there is basically laws that govern the things that we cannot perceive. What I also think is that we are more connected to those other energies, other dimensions, other layers of reality that we cannot perceive. I think we are more connected than we think to those layers. For me, spirituality is a way to try and get in tune or to understand those other layers of reality better. I think that's what spirituality is for me. How can I try to understand something that I cannot perceive? You have to base this on concepts. You have to base this on feelings. You have to base this on intuition, which I think is a very, very important point in spirituality, in yourself connecting to those other layers. What is intuition? It's getting gut feelings. It's your heart pulling you towards something, which I think there's more to than we think. I think that's the connection between us and those other things we cannot perceive. Now, it sucks that most people look at spirituality in a dismissive way. There's a lot of people I cannot just go up to and talk about spirituality with them, because it's too big of a concept. But I have not found a different word or a different way of talking about it. Spirituality, I think that is, it's the only way to really talk about it. And there is more to spirit, there is more to this physical world realm than we can imagine. Now, I've studied quantum physics for a little bit. I've read 1 or 2 books. And this, I think, is starting to explain spirituality. I think it is starting to explain different dimensions, and the fact that really, when you look at a particle or a molecule, when you really break it down, it's nothing but energy. It's nothing but energy. There is no matter. Matter is energy at a different frequency, at a different wavelength, which how we perceive it as matter. But there is no real matter. It's all just energy in different forms. We are energy in a different form. And I think this is what spirituality is all about. How can we try to understand or make a narrative about those different dimensions, about those energies, about those different layers of reality? Religions, in my opinion, are a way of trying to explain those concepts, are a way of trying to make a story as a way in which we can use the laws that govern the universe and that govern those different dimensions as a way to be able to use it in your advantage. And then, I don't want to go too deep in this video, I just want to talk about spirituality in general, but then you get to concepts like, if you do good, if you put out good into the world, you will get good back. Those are laws of the universe. There's books that try to explain these laws, like the Kabbalion, as above, so below, cause and effect, the universe is mental, those kind of principles, which I think get really close to explaining everything. So I think this is just my view on spirituality. I don't think there's one way. I think, religions are right in a lot of ways. They use stories to make it up, to make sense of it. But now there's actual science, there's quantum physics trying to explain and understand these different layers of reality that we cannot perceive, which for me is spirituality. Trying to get in tune with the things we cannot perceive. Trying to use the laws of the universe or the laws of God or whatever to our advantage to make our lives better. Now, this is the first time, I talk about this just because of the stigma that hangs around spirituality. It's people still look at it in that way, and it's hard to talk about this, I think. And I think what I just mentioned in this video kind of sums it up for me. It's a way for me to try and understand the things that we cannot perceive with our 5 limited senses. For me, diving on this path of spirituality, because it really is a path, first you start to understand things about yourself, your internal and your mental states, and then you start seeing, wait, the way my mental state is and the way I feel about things is how my reality is. And then you go deeper into some books, or you watch some YouTube videos about quantum physicists, or even like Joe Dispenza. I love the guy. He is combining spirituality and science and using it to improve people's lives, making crazy improvements. It has changed my life big time. All the concepts I talk about here, for me, are actually based in spirituality. It's just your perception of things. And when you broaden your perspective, you broaden your perception, and you accept kind of that there are forces working all the time that we cannot see, it humbles you a little bit, and you want to kind of respect those forces, and you want to make them work for you in the best possible way. For me, it's been huge. It's changed a lot of things. I have a way, I'm trying to every day to broaden my perspective and to be able to work with those laws instead of just reacting to life. I want to be the creator of my own life. Here's the last woo-woo concept I'll talk about in this video. The religions and the Bible, what I think the meaning of those things is saying, listen, you are God, you are a little piece of the universe, which is God. God is just everything. The universe, higher self, whatever, nature, whatever you want to call it, you are a part of it, which means you are also the creator. You are the creator of your own universe, of your own reality. And that, for me, that feeling and that understanding gives me so much feeling of ownership. I decide what to do in working together with these forces that I cannot see, which for me is spirituality. So I hope I got this point across. It's a really difficult topic, but that's what spirituality means for me. It's not following a religion, it's not meditating all day, it's different practices of trying to understand what we cannot perceive. That's what it is for me, and I'll leave it at that actually. So I think in the videos I'll make, I'll go a bit deeper in this, a bit more honest about how I see those things and how I think some of those laws that apply to the concepts I'm thinking about and talking about. So yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for listening, and yeah, see ya.